This is probability lesson 2. We're talking about experimental versus theoretical probability. So let's talk about a coin toss, because it's the most straightforward, easy example we've got. So theoretically, if you would toss a coin 10 times, because you have a 50% or 1 out of 2 chance of getting each outcome, heads or tails, on each toss, you would think that if you tossed the coin 10 times, you'd get 5 heads and 5 tails, right? Since you have a 50% chance of each of them should show up half the time in 10 tosses. That's theoretically. Experimental probability is just what actually happens when you do that. So we're going to try 10 tosses and see what we get. Are we going to get 5 and 5? 9 and 1? 10 and 0 somehow? Technically, those are all possible outcomes for tossing it 10 times. It's just that as you toss a coin more and more times, the probabilities or the results will line up more and more closely with what the theoretical probability was. But the experimental probability, what actually happens, will not necessarily line up with the theoretical probability, especially in just a few trials. So here we go. We're going to just do one at a time for excitement. Heads. Tails. Now we're going to speed this up a little bit. And there you have it, 10 trials. So you can see that we've got 3 heads and 7 tails. It was supposed to be 50-50. Theoretically, it was supposed to be 5 heads and 5 tails. But experimentally, we ended up with 7 tails and 3 heads. That's it. Experimental versus theoretical probability. Theoretical is what you can expect to happen over a large number of trials. Experimental is what actually happens over a set number of trials.